Yo, have you heard of LinkedIn Learning? If you haven't, LinkedIn Learning is an American massive open online course provider. It provides video courses taught by industry experts in a variety of subjects. Now, why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because Living Corporate is in partnership with LinkedIn Learning to provide diversity, equity, and inclusion courses. Listen, if you're trying to be a better ally, you want to understand better diversity, equity, inclusion strategies, or you just want to learn how to be a better leader, you got to check out the courses on LinkedIn Learning. So check it out. You can do it one of two ways. You can click the link in the show notes, or you go to LinkedIn Learning and you search Living Corporate. Again, link in the show notes, or go to LinkedIn Learning and search Living Corporate. I'll see you over there.
What's going on, Living Corporate? It's Tristan, and I want to thank you for tapping back in with me as I provide some tips and advice for professionals. Today, let's talk about long-term planning during uncertainty. As we went through school, we were always encouraged to think about what we wanted our lives to look like and where we wanted to be in 5, 10, or even 15 years from now. With the pandemic dragging along, the climate crisis intensifying, and a general feeling that nothing around us is certain or stable enough, many are finding it difficult to plan that far in advance. While it can seem challenging to plan in the face of uncertainty, I know that many of us still need to do so. Therefore, I wanted to discuss some tips that may be useful while trying to plan during these times. We've all heard the first piece of advice before, but it's don't put all your eggs into one basket. When we find ourselves in uncertainty, we tend to cling to familiar things, especially in our careers. Instead of trying to stick to what we know, try to imagine a wide range of possible futures, even ones that may seem intimidating or downright terrifying. Consider planning for negative situations like extended unemployment. Challenge any assumptions that you have about yourself and your career. Consider alternative pathways to achieving your goals. Think beyond your experience and look into new arenas and emerging trends or industries. Developing multiple scenarios allows you to be prepared with various pathways depending on the circumstances the future presents you. One scenario may work out entirely, or you may end up taking pieces from multiple scenarios to ultimately achieve your end goal, but either way, you've covered your bases. Next, I think the saying goes, what's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now, we aren't eating elephants, because ew, but our goal can sometimes feel as big and heavy as an elephant. So before you can start working towards your long-term goals, I suggest you break them down into smaller goals or subtasks. This makes the goal more manageable and also puts things into perspective. While the main goal may be a few years off, the smaller goal is something that you can accomplish now. That momentum may be enough to keep you pushing through some of the uncertainty. Lastly, physically write your goals down and tell someone you trust who can help hold you accountable. For me, there's just something about writing a goal down and wanting to be able to cross it off that helps me hold myself accountable. It's also nice to bring in others you trust as accountability partners. Now, when I speak about accountability, I don't mean staying the course no matter what. There has to be an understanding that circumstances change and your goal should too. So the accountability I'm looking for is taking action, whether that's executing the original goal, rethinking the pathway to your goal, or figuring out a new goal altogether. Uncertainty isn't new and isn't going anywhere anytime soon. You might as well have a game plan to face it. This tip was brought to you by Tristan of Layfield Resume Consulting. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Layfield Resume, or connect with me, Tristan Layfield, on LinkedIn.